Okay. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you all. I hope we are all fine. Good morning. Please, can you hear me? Okay. I hope we are all doing well. Sorry for the delay. We've delayed for some few minutes. Okay. So yes, today what are we going to do? Look, looking at our title, we are about to do what? Today we have to do the basic syntax. We'll do the basic syntax of Python. We'll do some operations, like some mathematical operations. So perform some additions, multiplications, and all sort of calculations. We'll do that, and then we'll look at um let me say the data types in Python. Look at the data types, and yes, maybe we can call it a day. So let's the syntax, the basic operations, and then again syntax, data types, and then variables. We'll have to declare some variables, right? Right. So let's go. Um, I have my Jupyter open. I have my Jupyter ready. As I told you yesterday, create you have to create a new just a folder for this class, right? So I have my folder. I named it yesterday. I named it what? Tertiary GTL. So I go to tertiary GTL. I have these notebooks over here, right? Okay. So all I need to do is open create my new notebook, or open an existing one that I want to use. That's all. So currently I want to create a new notebook for what I'm doing, right? Okay. So what do I want to do? I think these notebooks I don't need them. These were the notebooks I created yesterday. So let me delete these guys. I don't need them. Okay. So I've deleted them. There's nothing here. I'm going. Let me create my new notebook. A new notebook for our work. Okay. Good. So my notebook is ready. Maybe I can give it a name. Let's rename it. So it shouldn't be untitled. Let me name it maybe Python variables, data types. What again? Syntax. I didn't add syntax. And you let me say basic operations, basic operations. So just this is the name of the notebook that I want. So that's the name. Then we have to start. So let's do the basic operations. Let's look at how to do some mathematics with Python first. Then we'll go on to do the rest, right? We'll look at how to do some basic math work over here. So let's see. Let me give it this a title. Let me give it a title so we know what we are doing. So we are starting with what? Basic operations. So basic basic operations Python. Python. That's it. And we are starting. We'll do some arithmetics, right? So we'll look at some few things like addition. So let me say another. Let me give another. So I rate what metric. Then it is a code now. So let me change it to this so that it looks nice. We'll look at some additions, additions, additions. We'll look at what subtraction. We'll look at multiplication, multiplication, multiplication. Then we'll look at what division, division. What again? We'll look at division. We'll look at exponent, exponent, exponents, exponentiation. That's powers. Exponentiations, exponents. So we'll look at let me say modulus. Yeah. I think so. I think that's the spelling, right? Then we'll look at. I think the last one is what floor division. Floor division. Division. Floor division. So these are the operations that we want to work with for now. So we'll do additions. We'll look at how to add numbers. Look at how to subtract numbers. How to do multiplication, divide, find exponents, find the modulus, and then we'll do some floor division. So these are the basic operations that we want to do for now, right? So if we just go on, we just start. If we have what is a special character for I think it is a star. Yesterday we looked at we looked at how to work with we looked at how we work in Jupyter Notebook. You see, I was doing bullets. I want to create bullets. That's how come I kept the star for the arithmetic or arithmet. I didn't bring the M. So this is to make it more of like a heading. The more I increase the more I increase, if I add one, then it means I'm decreasing the size. If I leave it at one, I want it to be big. You see that? Okay. Oh, it is blurry. How do I do this? Wow. I wish I could try using your mobile phone and let me see if it is still blur. Yeah, which machine? If you are using your laptop, I think I tried using the laptop and I saw it a bit blurry, but I couldn't. I don't know how to go around. But if you are using, okay, the font size. Okay, let me increase the font size and let's see how it will be. So let me increase the font size. Okay, if I increase the font size, is it better now? Maybe. Uh, the resolution. Maybe I will see how I can help with that. For now, then let's go. Okay, okay. Someone, African warrior is helping. Is giving some tips. Okay, so then we can then start. Right. So we have our basic operations. We are looking at. Okay, more data for it, right? Okay, so let's do our first one. So we have two numbers. The addition sign is we just do we perform additions with the plus sign. So if I have two numbers that I want to add them, I just bring 22 plus 20. If I run shift enter, the output is there. You see how Jupyter Notebook is. If I run the cell, you see that it numbers the cells. Oh, so I have this is the first cell I ran, and I did some multiplications. Okay, Alan is saying the font size is still small. No, everyone must do it with their device. Couldn't attend the class. I had an exam. Okay. But it is here on YouTube, Martin. It is here on YouTube, so you'll get it. Please, can you go over? Prince, I just started. I've not. You see that? I said we are going to do these basic operations, right? We are doing these basic operations. We want to perform this math here. Want to do additions, want to do subtractions, want to do multiplications, divisions, exponents, want to perform all those math stuff, right? In our notebooks, right? So yes, we are doing what? Addition. I think I should have given it. So this is addition. I've been able to add two numbers, then immediately I run it, I get the output. 23 plus 20 is 43. That's it. As simple as that. Depending on the number plus anything. If you run, control shift entered, I have my output. This is it. That is as simple as this in Python. If you want to add two numbers, just bring your first number and your second number. You join them with what? The plus sign. That's good. The same way, if we want to do subtraction, think I should have given this a header. So let me know. Let me give this a header. So yep. Let me change this to markdown and I give my header. So I didn't with where this was addition. Okay. Then we come towards subtraction. Subtraction. Then we look at the same way this was what this was the other one. We just use the plus sign, we just use the minus sign for subtraction, and we are good to go. So 40 minus, let me say, 19. If I run this cell, I get my output. This is the this is the subtraction. Any number, so 2 minus 89, I get negative what? 87. This is it for subtraction 2. This is it for subtraction 2, right? Then where do we go to? I think the next one is what? Multiplication. So what do we use to perform in performing multiplications? All we need to do is use the star. The star. We multiply by using what? The star here. Multiples. So we come here and we say what? We want to multiply two numbers. So let's say 3 times, I said what? So we just use what? The star. So 3 times 4. What is the output? 12. 3 times 4 gives us 12. So you can either give space or you not give space. Python will understand it. You see that over here I did 40, then I gave space minus space 19. Over here I didn't leave any space. I just did what? 2 minus 89 and it was there. We come to multiples the same way. 3 times 4, that gives us 12. If I don't want to leave space, let's say 8 times 7, I get 56. That's how it is, right? That's how it is. Okay. So yes, this is also for what? Multiples. to multiply two numbers, all you need to do is what? Just the first number, then star, then the second number. So we use the star to perform what? Multiplications in Python. Let's look at our next operation. Our next operation is what? Division. Oh, Joe. Joe is saying I'm moving fast. Okay, I read. Mhm. Let me look at my spelling and correct it. I read not trick. Okay, yeah. Okay, let me go here. I I take this off. Fantastic. Thank you. Okay, so yes, we are okay, right? Then we are moving on to the next one, which is what? Division. We want to divide numbers, right? We want to divide numbers. So let's say, let's change. Let me give it a header. So I come here, I say what? You see, Jupyter, the name notebook, it acts as just your normal notebook that you are using. So you are able to do stuff, yeah, highlight some spaces, insert pictures, insert links, just to more of like your notebook. Your notebook is what? More of like you jot things down, you write stuff that you want to do. You are able to list things, you are able to perform anything, do math on it, you are able to write note, whatever that you want to do, you do it here. Right? Jupyter allows you to do so many things. As I said, as we are moving on, as we are going on, you'll get to see more functionalities of this Jupyter notebook, right? Okay, so division, divisions. Okay, division. So I want to divide two numbers. We just use what? The forward slash, right? We use the forward slash to perform what? To divide numbers over here, right? In Python, we just use what? The forward. We use the forward slash. So let's say, oh, I want to divide 20 divided by 5. You see that? Forward slash, forward slash. Then your work is done. Forward slash, and your work is done. So we look at maybe another one, another one. 12 divided by 8, just like that, and you have what? Your output is what? 1.5. That is it. So this is basically what? How to perform this basic math in what? Python over here. Yeah, very important. One thing we always know is that in programming, every little things that you are doing, you'll be needing them, right? We are doing analysis. We are doing analysis. So it will get to a time it will be, oh, we have to subtract this one by this. We have to multiply this, some sales, some quantities by some volumes to get what? Yes, I think yes. The bullets I use, I anytime I want to write text, I change it to Markdown. Right? I change it to Markdown. Yes. Okay, sir, please. Yeah. It is there. It is there. I even created. It is here. I even created a playlist. Go to the channel. All right. Go to the channel. I even created a playlist over here. Data analysis with Python and SQL for beginners. That's what is it. Yesterday's video is still there, right? Yesterday's video is still there. This one too be added there, and that's how it will be. All the videos that we'll be doing over here will be added to that playlist, right? So that any day, anytime you can revise, you can go over any of the videos, right? So there was a reason why we did this. Can you do the bullet? Prince, yesterday you did this. Okay, so Prince is saying bullets. So if I want to create a bulleted point for here, yeah. So I just need to change this to markdown. Markdown. I want to create bullets. I said what? Just use star, then space, then write A star space BB star space CC. So I've created these bullets. You see that? I've created these bulleted points. Star space star space star space. See that? Yes, we will solve it. We'll come to here. I've seen someone mentioning board mass. We'll come to it. We'll come to board mass as to whether how Python deals with that. Which comes first and which when there are two operations, when there are two operators, how does Python which one does Python execute first? We'll look at it, right? Because we are just on division. We'll finish all, then we'll blend. We'll then look at which one comes first and so on, right? So yes, and someone is also asking about the numbers. Yes, I said so. If I want to create a numbered bulletin, so I just say what I change this one to markdown. So one dot, one then a dot, then space, then I say WW, two dots, then space, three dot space, KKK. You see that I've created a numbered bulletin. Okay. Bold. I think bold. So how you guys want me to spend the time on markdown? Okay, so if you want to do bold, I think bold you put them uh wait and let me see. I think it is either one. Yeah, it is two. Bold, you put two. So I've made this thing bold. I've made still bold by just putting that. Right? That is bold. That is bold. So these were some tricks for markdown. Markdown. Okay. So yes, let's get back to our calculations. As I said, the markdown, as we are working, you get to see more of them, more of the tricks, ways of making your notebook better, right? Okay. So we're done with what? We're done with division. So what's next? We've done addition, subtraction, multiplication, divisions. Then now exponents. We now look at exponents. Look at what exponents, exponents, and then modulus, and floor division, floor division. Okay, so let me go down. Let's work. Okay, so let me give this. So we are looking at what exponents, exponents. Exponents and as I said, exponents too. You see, multiplications was star. Now, if you want to do exponentiation, we have to use what double star. So 2 raised to the power 3 will be what 2 stars 3. 2 raised to the power 3. That means 2 times 2 times 2. That means 2 times 4 times 2. That should be 8. So 2 raised to the power 3 should give us 8. Right. Juanita is saying what? Say, I'm not getting answers for my division. What do you do for your division? For your division, division. This is make sure it is in code. You see that for doing the mass here, it has to be code. If it is in code and you finish, I just do what control shift enter or control and enter, or you click on this run over here. So if I click on run over here, you see that it is executed, right? After typing your code, whatever that you want to write, you need to run the cell, right? I've been using the shortcuts. That's shift and enter. That's what I've been using so far. Shift enter will run it and move to the next cell, right? Control enter will run it and it will still be there in that cell, but it will run it for you. That's what I've been doing. Okay, so I hope this helped you, Juanita. First, make sure it is code. It is not in Markdown. It is not in Raw. It is not in heading or whatsoever. It should be on code over here. Then now it means you can type and you can do any calculations over here and it will work. So 4 to the power 4 to the power 4. And what do we get? 2 5 256. This is it. That is 4 raised to the power 4. This is what we get. So this is what exponentiation. We just use what? 2 star, and you'll get what? Your exponent. So this is how we perform. We do exponentiations over here. Okay, more people are not in class just as you were yesterday, just because we are seeing, I'm seeing 64, 62. Yep. Okay. So yes, we'll look at, this was what? The exponents, right? Let's move to the next one. As I said, after exponents, we'll look at what? Modulos, right? We'll look at modulos. So more of like the remainder. 8 5 divided by 2. What is the remainder? 2 going to 5, what? 2 times remainder 1. Those one. So when we are dealing with modulos, we are always looking at those things. The remainder, the reminder, the reminder, right? So we'll look at that. We'll look at that right now, right? We'll look at that. So so let me change this to, let me give this a heading. So I change it to Markdown. I write my text. I want to do modulos, right? Modulos, modulos. There I come. So now I want to perform my modulos. We do this by using what? The by using what? The percentage sign. Have you seen that? Percentage sign. Percentage, right? We do this by using what? Percentage sign. So if I want to find 5 modulo, where's my percentage sign? 2. I should get 1, right? So 2 will go into 5. How many times? 2 times. Remainder 1. Have you seen that? So 2 will go into, so it's more of like, if 2 is, if 4 is a multiple, if a number is a multiple of so let me say, if you can verify if this one is a multiple of this. If it is a multiple, you should get 0, right? If you don't get 0, then it is basically not a multiple of it. So let me say of 2. 2 going to 4, 2 going to 4, 2 remainder what? 0. Someone is saying, okay, so let me look through. Juanita, I hope yours is done. Prince Koku. When I listen, do the exponents again. Exponent. Wow. I said what? I'm here. So I've created a new cell over here. Exponent. I say what? Let's say um 3 raised to the power. Exponent, we just use what? Star, double star. So I put 3 raised, I want to type 3 raised to the power 4. So 3 star star 4. 3 raised to the power 4. I get what? 81. 81. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. 4 times. This is what we get. 81. Have you seen that? That's it for the exponents. Okay, so we are back towards our modulos, right? Kobe Spine is saying shortcut. Down. Kobe. Okay, you want a shortcut. So if you are in this cell, you see that I'm in this cell. So Kobe, look at, I'm in this cell. I'm in this cell. You see that I don't want to go to the top. I don't want to go to the top. All I need to do is get out of the cell. Get out of the cell. It should be what? It should be green, blue. If it is green, it means you are in the cell. If it is this way blue, then you just type M. You've changed it to Markdown. You see that? So if it is what? If it is in blue, and you just type, click on the M on your keyboard, it automatically changes to what? To markdown. That is it. So sometimes if it is green, you can equally click on what? Escape, and it changes to blue. Then you click on your M. The shortcuts. See, if you want any shortcuts in your notebook, just come to your help, and I think the keyboard shortcuts are all here. You see that a lot of them are here. A lot of them are here. A lot of them are here. Or you see various ways, various shortcuts that you can use, right? Various shortcuts. So explore, 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 right? Okay. So then we'll look at the next one. The next one. Oh, Farouk, my screen. Sorry about that. I think it seems someone gave low 2. You get what? You get 0. So 0 times any other thing is should be 0, right? Whatever is inside the bracket is what? 0. So 0 times any number will give you 0. So now 0, that is it. Yeah. Okay. So let's move on. Let's move on to, we've done what? Modulus now. So we are now going to look at. So this modulus is very important. So you, when those in universities, when you are doing your work, someone is say, bring, we want to find what? Even numbers, want to find odd numbers, want to find those things. If you want to find even numbers, any number that is divisible by 2 is an even number. You see that? Any number that will be divisible by 2, you will get what? Your even number. If it is not divisible by 2, then it is not even. Then it falls to the other one. Is that not the case? So you, let's say, still on the modulus. Let me change this to good. Still on the modulus to confirm whatever that we have said. So if I pick 20 modulus 2, if it is 0, then it means it's an even number. That's what I'm saying. That's what I said, right? So if I say 0, then it means this is an even number, right? If I go 21 modulus 2, if it is not 0, then it is not an even number. So any number that will be divisible by 2 is obviously, you see that, an even number. What I Mona. Mona. Okay, right. Okay, so yes, this is it. This is it for the modulus, right? So let's move on to the next one, which is what? The floor division. The floor division. The floor division. The floor division. Right. So we are going to perform some. The next one is what? Escape M. Then I change this to what? Markdown. Then I say what? Floor division. Floor division. Division. Okay, so this one, floor division, um, which one? We are using, it is what, division, we are using this one, forward slashes. We use two forward slashes. And what this does is that, you see, it gives you the number without the decimal places when you do division. Have you seen that? So let's see this one. Let's first do this. 5 divided, the normal division, 5 divided by 2. We are getting what? 2.5. And let's say if I don't want it in decimal. I just want the number, the first number. I don't want, that's what floor division does. So um if I want to do that, all I need to do is what? Perform what? 5 slash slash. So this is what? Floor division 2. You see that you get only the number without the decimal places. That is what floor division does. Floor division means you don't want it in decimal. It just picks the the first, the integer part, and leaves the decimals. So that's floor division. So yes, yes. Basically, this is it for floor division, right? That's how so far. Anyone? We then have to look at, yes. Now we'll be encountering a problem right now. We'll be encountering a problem right now. So we'll look at that problem. To look at that problem, we want to solve it. We want to solve that problem by doing something right now, and that is let's say we are done with the floor division. 2, let me write this, 2 times 4 plus 5 divided by 3. Have you seen this? 2 times 4 divided by this, by this. What happens? Okay, look at this answer, and then we'll look at this. 2 divided 2 times, then we open our bracket, 4 plus 5, then we go divided by 3. We look at this too. So we want to use this tool. We want to use this tool, right? We want to, how about getting okay, approximated. There's another function that can help us. For now, we have to use we have to use we have to use that a function called round. We'll use round for that. Favor is it? That's what we'll use round. Round will help us in doing that, right? Okay, round. So far, if you want to approximate, that one is not that one is a function. So we'll look at that. When we get various functions that we can be using, right? Okay, okay. So yes, now you've seen these two outputs. These two outputs. We are now seeing this. So there was 2 times this plus them. So which one? The order is, how did Python do this calculation? How did Python do this calculation? Right? Oh, my screen there so far it seems for that one I'm having, I don't know how to help by making it better. Sorry, Hakim. Okay, so as I'm saying, so we have this. What do we want to do? Let's look at, we need to understand how Python did this calculation. Python uses what? Python does not use board mass. It uses what? PEM, PEMDAS, right? PEMDAS, PEMDAS, right? Python uses what? PEMDAS. Have you seen that? I've zoomed. Python uses what? PEMDAS. So parentheses first, then exponentials second, multiplications, divisions, additions, and then what? Subtraction. That is the order. So if there is a parenthesis, Python will go inside the parenthesis and work first and do the compute what is in the parenthesis first. Before it will, if it will first look for an exponentiation, it will look for exponents. If there are no exponents, it falls on what? Multiplications. If there are no multiplications, then that's the order. That's the order. Have you seen that? That's the order in which Python does. So we look at this. So are there, for line 20, we look at are there parentheses? There are no parentheses. There are no parentheses, so we need to what? Change. There are no parentheses. So what do? We move to the next one. Are there, as there are no parentheses, it means we have MDAS, EM. So we then move towards the E, exponents. Are there exponents? No, there are no exponents. But are there multiplications? It means yes, there's multiplication over here. So if there's multiplication here, so Python will perform the multiplication first. So it will say if there's a multiplication sign here. So what are those numbers that are being multiplied? This is what? 2 times 4. So Python, let me come here. B. So Python 2 times 4 will give us what? 8. Then, so now this is what it changes to be, this plus 5 divided by 3. This is now at that level. This is what we get because it has multiplied, it has done the multiplication first. Then the next thing is what? We are now done with the multiplication. So what is next? What is there again? Is there a division? Yes, there's a division. There's a division over here. So if there's a division, it will leave the multiplication and it will do what? The division first. So if it wants to do the division, it will come. Let me create a new cell and do the division. So what is the division? What are the two numbers that have been divided? We have what? 5 divided by what? 3. So we have 5 divided by 3. That is being done. What is the output? It is what 1.66. So it means this is what we will get. We will then get the 8 is there, the 8 plus is still there. Then now the output, it has gone to do what? The division. So the division, the answer for the division is what? 1.66. Now what is left? What is left? We are done with the division. So the next one is what? Addition. So there's addition here. Then we just run. So we get what? 9.66. I didn't, you see, when I was doing, I didn't add a 666. That's how come we had this. You see that? This is how we execute. Python executes it. It looks at what? Parentheses first, exponential. So it uses what? Instead of you saying the board mass, no, use what? PEMDAS. This is what Python use, right? So if you want Python to execute something first, then you better use this way, this method. Put whatever that you want to do inside what? Parentheses. So that's how come when I come here, I didn't want Python to follow that structure. I want Python to do what? The addition first. Add the 4 and the 5 first before you do the multiplications and all and the divisions, right? So over here we are getting a different answer because we kept what? Parentheses here first here. So if I run this cell, Python will first look, are there parentheses? Yes, there are parentheses. And inside the parentheses, what is there? Then it has to perform what? The additions that are there. So we have 4 plus 5. So that is done first. So over here, this is how it will be computed. So we'll have what? 2 times, then in the brackets, it has already, it does what is in the bracket first. So we get what? 9, 5, 4 plus 5, which is what? 9, which is what? 9. So we get this, and then divided by what? 3. So now we've cleared what? The parentheses. We've cleared what? The parentheses. The next one is what? Um, then it goes through the PEMDAS stuff again. There's what? There's no longer parentheses, but now there's what? Multiplication. Then it does the multiplication side. So there's what? 2 times 9, which is what? 18. Now divided by 3. Then you see the output will be what? 18 divided by 3. You will get your 6. You see that? That's how Python does it. So when after this PEMDAS, then we know we are done with what? The basic operation. Someone, you can perform your operations in Python freely, right? Mona Lisa, you are saying you are lost. How are you? Where did you get lost? Okay, so I should do it again. Uh, okay. Okay, where are you? Where are you? So yes. I was saying Python executes um if there's a computation that has to be done, Python will follow this structure, this structure, right? So it will execute. Thank you, thank you, Dante. Yep. Parentheses, exponents, then multiplications, division, addition, and then subtraction, right? So if there is, it will first look through the numbers. your code. If there's parenthesis, it will work whatever that is in the parenthesis first. Then it will move, it will move, it will keep going. That's how it is. Okay. Okay, so yes, basically this is it for the arithmetic, right? So we'll look at what the next one will be what um conditions, evaluating what conditions. Look at evaluating conditions in Python, right? Is something equal to something? Is something greater than something? You see that? Is this number greater than this number? Is this number less than this number? That is the next thing that we are going to look at. I think I have to move this cell above. Cell, move cell above, move cell above. Oh, sorry, I rather run the cells above. I wanted to move you. Um, move cell up. This one. Cell Okay, let me leave it there and go to my next one. So yes, we want to do, I think what I want to do, let me send the PEMDAS over here. Let me bring the PEMDAS over here. B M and I paste this. So yeah, over there. And I then have to move to the next one. So we want to do what? The conditionals. As I said, want to evaluate conditions, right? Want to evaluate conditions. So conditionals. Want to do what? Oh, this is still in the code. Let me change it to Markdown. So conditionals. Conditionals. So yes, we'll look at what? What are the conditions that we want to look at? We want to compare if something. Want to do the cell above. I did what? You just go to the edit. The edit. You see file, edit, view. So when you go to edit and I have the cell, you see what? Move cell up, move cell down. You can move cell up, you can move cell up. You see that? You can move them, right? So we want to do what? Equal to something is equal to something. Want to compare if something is equal to something, if something is greater than something, if something greater than, less than, then we will do the blend, right? Then we'll do the blend, greater than or less than. I think it's okay. We'll do that one. So yes, we want to look at this conditions, right? We want to look at these conditions. So the first one is what? We try to set do some comparisons, and we do that by just using what? Two equal to signs. Two equal to, not a single one. Two equal to, right? So I want to say 2 is actually equal to 2. Funny thing is that with conditionals, when you run the cell, you get what? Either a true, the output is either true or false. So because you are comparing something. So you are saying, oh, this one is equal to this, Prince is equal to, yeah, Prince is equal to this. So it is either it is true or it is what? False. That's what happened. So 2 is equal to 2. We get the output to be what? True. You see that? When I say 2 is equal to 4, higher, Python say, oh boy, that, and you're not correct. Well, then I get it. Yeah. Python is telling me, oh no 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 no, this one you can't lie me on this one. So 2 is not equal to 4. So Python is saying um that's what Python is saying, that it is false. Okay. So yes, that's what happened. That's what happened. So we just use what the double equation. So double, you want to compare this. Oh, this one you want to compare some conditions. This one is actually equal to this. That is it. You want to compare those conditions, then you get it right. Okay, so yes, that was equal to sign. Then we'll look at what greater than, right? The greater than two is there. So let's go to the next one. Want to compare, want to do check if want to say 50, we are changing to greater than, right? So we are saying 56 is greater than 23. We get true. You see that? We just use a greater than sign. What is the shortcut key for run? Shift enter, shift with enter, shift enter, or control enter, control with enter, or shift with enter, whichever that is okay for you. Okay. So yes, I want to. We have what's the greater than. Then we can check what. There's still the greater than. This one is greater than. I'll get the false. Yep. Then we do for the less than two. So I say 5 is less than 10. I get it. True. 45 is less than 2. I what's me throw. So that is it. That is it. So we are comparing we are comparing numbers. You see that we move from the operation, the basic arithmetic. We did that. Then we are now looking at what conditions that we are evaluating whether something is greater than something, comparing numbers and variables, and so on. Right. So yes, this was what we've done. Um, um, Equal to, greater than, less than. Then let's do what? Let's say 23 is greater than or equal to. So it's just like this: greater than or equal to. Is greater than or equal to 12. So I get through. You see that 23 is or let me see, 21 is greater than or equal to what? 21. 21. Still true. Because yes. So that is it. If you want to do greater than or equal to, if you want to do less than or equal to, it's the same style. Less than or equal to 4. You get true. Have you seen that? So this is how we perform what? No, take notice. You'll be needing them. Everything that we'll be learning, we'll be building upon it. We'll be building upon it as we are going. Right? That is it. The next one is what? We've done greater than, less than, maybe not equal to. So we want to say 2 is not equal to 4. How do we do it? We do it by using what, the exclamation sign and then equal to. 2 is not equal to 4. Then you get what? True. So we are saying this is not equal to 4. Exclamation, um, exclamation mark, and then equal to. So we are saying 2 is not equal to what? 4. And that is what happens, right? So yes, this is also on these conditions, right? Are we okay? So far, so far, no issues, right? Yeah, I think we shouldn't be, shouldn't have that's fine. Then the next one is what we have to look at what the logical. The next one is what logical operators. That's what we want to look at. The logical. So we want to bring two different stuff. The logical operators, right? Let me see. Let me search for it. Logical. I need a table. I need a table I need a table. So true, true, false, false, those stuff. I need a logical table, logical truth table. I should have said truth table. Should have said truth table. Something logical truth. No, 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 no. The truth table. Let me see the truth table. Truth table. 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 Ah, I kept something there. The truth table. I need what? Images. Oh, oh, binary. Oh, no problem. Let's go. I wanted to insert a picture. I wanted to insert a picture. Okay, logical tables. Okay, right, 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 right. Okay, I think this should work. Let me see. This one I only need end. Okay, this is one. This one is nice. Let's see. Okay, I think this is best for me. Oh, where are you? This is okay for me. Save image as I'm coming. Yeah, I have it now. So I want to bring my coming. I want to insert it. I want to insert image that will do that work for us. So here, then I go to my downloads. I bring you inside. Okay, that's all. That's all. So I need this image. Okay, so this was the image I needed because I want to do some truth. Oh, top is missing, but no problem. So we'll be looking at what the truth tables. We'll look at how to join two conditions. How are we able to join these conditions? So Theo is a boy and also greater and also of the age greater than 10. You see that? You have this, you are evaluating. So far we what we did up there was what evaluating single conditions. So now if you want to evaluate several conditions, how do you do it? You do that with what this logical statements. Have you seen that? So we look at end logical. So let me change escape m, then I say logical, logical operators, logical operators, logical operators. Then we'll look at what the end and the or, right? The end and or, then maybe not somewhere. So let's see. We'll look at end, end, and then or. So this should be a markdown. Okay. So now we want to perform two things. We want to say this thing is greater than this number. We want to perform so many things. We want to say 2 is greater than 1. Then we come. and say and equally end is equally what? An upper sound, right? Upper sound to this one. If you bring the upper sound, it is equally end, or we best say end. You see that end or the upper sound works for us. So then we come and say something. 3 is also what? Less than 10. So the output before I run this cell, that's where we need to come here. We need to see this table. For the end, for the end for the end, the two statements must be what? The two statements must be what? True for you to get what? A true. And true, okay. You are seeing over this image is giving us 0 and 1s. Let me tell you what the 0 and 1s are. True is what? 1, and true is 1, and false is what? 0, right? So if I come here, true, true plus true, true plus true, you should see um you are seeing 2 because true is what? 1. Have you seen that? True is 1. If I say false plus false, I mean 0, that means 0 plus 0, I still get what? 0. The same way if I go for false plus true, then it means I'm basically saying 0 plus 1. Have you seen that? 0 plus 1. Have you seen that? So over here, if you are seeing 0, it means what? 0 means false. 0 means false. 1 means what? True. So for the truth table, if it is the end, if you are using the end, it means you want those two conditions to be uh, to be what? The two conditions to be met. So over here, if this if the first condition is true, is false, and the second condition is also false, the output is a false. That's what the end does. So 0 and 0, you should get what? 0. You should get false. 0 is false. So just look at it that way. 0 is false. So we see false and true. We still get what? False, because end expects those two conditions to be true before it will give you what? A true. True and false, you still get what? False. The only time you get true is what? True and true, then you get what? True. That's the only time. So true, false, 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 true, false, true, false, false, true, true, then you get true. That is for the end. So let's verify that. Let's confirm that over here. So this one, what is the output of this one? 2 is greater than 1. Is it not true? Yes, 2 is actually greater than 1. So we'll get true. When we come here, 3 is less than 10, which is also what? True. So true and true. The output should be what? True. So let's run this and see. We get true because those two conditions were met. So we are getting what? True. You see that? It will be very, very important when we are doing analysis, right? We want to check for those that lives in Greater Accra and also works at what? MTN. So you are getting two conditions. You see that? So that's what I'm saying. Every little thing that we are doing here, you will see it as little, but it is very, very important. You need to take it serious and understand it, because tomorrow when I know tomorrow when I want to do something like this, I know, oh, I've already treated it here, so there's no need in doing this, there's no need in doing this, right? So that's how it is. This true and true gives us what? True. So immediately I change, so let's say uh, something, the same thing, I say 3 is greater than. So this basically gives me a false. And I said what? The upper sound is the end. Either you are using the upper sound or you are typing, it is still the same. And 4 is greater than 3. So there's what? a false and a true. So basically, you should get a false because we are using what? The end. Have you seen that? We are using the end. So that's what happens. We see true. The only time it will be true is when those two conditions are met. Have you seen that? So it's just like this. True and true. You get what? True, right? True and false. You get what? Still false, false and true. You get what? False, false and false. You get what? False. See that? That's what happens. Then let's go to the second logical one, right? Which is the or. You use the or when you only need one condition to be satisfied. You only need one condition to be satisfied, right? So you want people that either they are living at Abosokan or they've attended KNUST, or you see that when you just need one condition to stand. You see that you just need one condition to stand. And I'm saying, yeah, the let me look at the comment section. You just need it. What I did is you just oh, I think it is in the yesterday. It is in the yesterday's one. We did it yesterday, right? You just drag the picture. All you need to do is what? Change it. If the cell, you've already changed the cell to what? Markdown. If it is in Markdown, just go to your folder, the folder in which just drag it and come and drop it. Drag it and drop it in the cell that is Markdown. That's all, and run it. After you drag it and drop, you run the cell. The image will be shown, right? And mean adding more cells, adding more cells. Just the plus, either the plus sign up there. Just click on the plus sign. You have more cells. Or B, when you are outside the cell, just type B. B just adds you more cells. B adds cells below. A adds cells above you, and so on, right? And then yes, both of them. I mean, either you are using the end or you are using this one. You see that I use the two, and that is it. The end is basically this. The upper sign is an end sign, right? Okay. So look at the second one, which is what? The or. For the or, it just need one true. One to be true. So look at the truth table for the or. We are saying a false or false gives us what? False. False or true, you get true. True or false, you get true. True or true, you get true. So the only time, this time for the false, for the or, the moment there's one true, one of the condition is true, yes, you are good to go. You get the output to be what? True. That is it for this. That is it for the or. So we'll try the or too, right? We try the or too, then we know that we've done this, right? So or let's go escape. So oh, I downloaded it from the internet, right? I downloaded it from the internet. Okay. So yes, so for the or, we need to bring two conditions together. This one or this one, right? So I say, mm, if I have two conditions, and I say maybe this one is greater than 2, This is true. Or then I come for another condition. Then I say um for the first one is true. This one is also less than 21. This is true. So we are getting, but I need one is greater than 4. This is automatically or a false. And 34 is less than 3. False. So we are getting false. Then I come 2 is 2 is equal to 2. Then I come the pipe. This one for the or, I think to get the other sign that we use is what's the pipe sign. So or um or this one. Mm, I want what? A false statement over here, right? I want a false statement. So I say what? 4 is not equal to 4. Yeah. So long as one side was true, this side was true, and this side is false, it doesn't matter because there's one true there. So we get what? A true. That's basically what the false the order. So let's now use the words itself. So true or false or false. False or false should be false, right? False, false or true. We get a true. False, true or false. You see that? True or true. And you get this. Okay, so that is basically it for the logical statements too. We are able to blend. We've done what? We did comparisons and we've done what? We've now added the logical statements too, right? Okay, so the next one that we have to look at is what? The next one on the table is we look at variables. We've done so far. We've done how to. No, let's look at some a few two things before the print function. Let's look at the print function. I think yesterday I used the word print, but I didn't tell you. So we'll be looking at functions. Functions are several lines of code that somebody has written to perform some tasks, right? So we'll be looking at the print function. Every programmer normally uses what the print function so much, right? So if you want the print function, it is there, print. When you type the print, you see that it is already there, it is in a green. So the print allows you to output something. You output anything to the, yeah, if you want to bring something, display something, we use what? The print function. So if you want to display anything, this is what the print function is what you use. So for instance, you want to print some words. We'll be looking at words. I'll be looking at it. I'll be treating words very soon. But for now, if I want to print words, I just bring some quotation mark and I say, okay, today, this class is interesting. It's interesting. See that? And I do control enter. Today's class is interesting. So that is the print function. The print function allows you to, it's more of like we use it to display something, right? To display something, right? Okay. So that was for the print function. As for functions, we ourselves later on we'll learn how to create functions. We'll create functions to do stuff by ourselves. You'll be given assignment as to how to create. You'll be given tasks to create functions to do certain things, right? So when we get there, you will learn it. Now the next one is what? Comments. I want you to know what comments are before we move on. Comments. Comments in Python. So normally, if we are doing this, you see that what we are doing. If I want to, comments are in text or text that we write in the code, in which Python does not execute those ones. You see that? So if I'm writing a comment, then it means I'm using it to explain my code. I'm trying to explain whatever that I'm doing. Yes, for you to, by just writing some text, right? So how do we write comments? Comments, we create comments. So let me make this markdown first. So I say I want to create some comments first. So yes, so now how do we create comments? We create comments by using what? Yes, hash. So if I, you see that it is in code, this one I've not changed it. It is still in the code. So I can type, okay, uh, this class is interesting, interesting. Okay, so you see that. Then I can come and do, I after typing that, I can then come and do any calculation that I want, do any comparison that I want to do over here. I should get a false statement. So Python didn't run this line because I told Python that this is what? A comment, by just keeping what? The hash there. And I kept the hash there. Python knows that, oh, okay, guy, no, or in kind way, or whatever that, the hash, after the hash, you are telling Python that, Python, forget whatever that is here. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it being there. You just continue doing your work. Just leave this one and continue doing your work. That's what we've told Python to do. So that is what comments. Comments are so good in coding that anything that you are doing, you comment whatever thing that you are. What also what am I doing over here? I can say, okay, I am comparing. I am comparing what numbers. You see that, using what, the equality, using the equality sign. Oh, sign. Uh, you see that, something like it. So the moment someone takes the notebook, the person knows that, okay, this was what I was doing. The person don't have to sit down and think so much before he knows what I'm done. And moreover, you yourself, another day you come and pick this notebook and you might be confused because by then you've forgotten what you were doing the other day. So comments will let you understand those stuff, right? And there are so many ways of doing commenting, right? This one was what, a single line comment. That's what I've done. So for one line, for each line, immediately you just keep the hash there, then you write your comment. You keep the hash there, you write your comment. Comments can also be what, inline. So I can say, okay, so I'm doing this 3 times 4. Then I want to put it inline. You see that the first one I kept it on top, right? So I can do it inline. It can be after the code. So I say, okay, I am multiplying multiplying two numbers, sorry, two numbers. If I run, you see that it can be inline, it can be as the first one that I did. Currently, if you want to have multiple now lines of comments, you just keep each line, you keep what, the star there, the hash there, right? Then you have your comment. So that is it. There's also another one. When we are dealing with comments, then we have to look at what docstrings. You see, if I have multiple lines of things that I want to write, more words. Okay, this. Okay, so let me see. Star. Then I come. Then I come. You see that. For this one, you have to always do this and this. You have to put the stars, the hash, 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 hash. But there's also another way. That's what we say, what? The docstrings. What do you have to do? You just have to bring what? Three quotation marks. three quotation marks. So you just say one, two. So I have three quotation marks. So inside these three quotation marks, I can type anything I want and I'll be okay, right? So inside here, Python will understand whatever that I'm. So I can go and pick a whole text file and come and put it inside these three quotation marks. Python will understand that this thing is not code. It is just there. Doc strings are important and important, really, really useful when we are doing what? You will see the usefulness when we are doing functions. So you use doc strings to explain your functions, to tell people what your function does and how can execute, they can go by your function, right? So that is what those strings. Okay, yeah. So yes. So this is also oh as kept them in a new line. Don't worry. Oh, I think oh see 14. This is those string just keeps them there. Don't worry. Okay. So we are done with those string. What else? Now we then now look at what variables, how to store stuff. So far, what we have been doing our calculations in the air and whatsoever. So we can't retrieve anything that we've done. We can't retrieve anything that we've done so far. So we need to look at what a variable is, right? So how anything that we do, any calculation, anything that we want to do, we will have to store it so that we'll be able to use it again. Currently, this calculation that we did, what if we wanted to recall this calculation that we did, this 12 that we have, want to use it another time? Hmm. I want to use it another time. What do we do, right? So let's look at what variables. So variables, we say what? Yeah, we use it. We store information using variables. We store information using variables, and data is stored in variables. So variables are more of like it houses those data that we want to store. Yes, it's more of like a container to store those stuff. So yes, we'll look at what variables are. Yes, I think we've done. I've just said what variables are. So variables. Let me just. Okay. So variables. Okay. So let's look at how to declare some variables. Okay. Okay. So my let's say Ghana's president. Okay, the president of Ghana. So let's say, as I said, we store data in what? Uh, Using what variables, right? So they are more of like containers, right? So how do we create variables? We just give the name of the variable that the name that you want to give to the container. That's the variable, the name first, and then what? The assignment, what we want to assign. There's an assignment operator, which is what? Equal to. We use the equal to. This one is where we are using what? Just one equal to sign. So we give the name. So we say Ghana's what? Ghana underscore president. Ghana president. Ghana president. And I said what? After the name, you bring equal to. And we say what? Sorry. So what? Akufo-Addo, Akufo-Addo, or Nana Akufo-Addo, right? Nana Akufo-Addo. That's Ghana's president. So they are creating what? We have this value that we want to store in the name what? Ghana, Ghana's president. Ghana's president. So immediately I run this cell. I've run the cell. I've saved what? The name. Ghana's what? President. So I have the name. So now that I've saved it, you see that I've not printed it out. So immediately I want Ghana. If I type the name Ghana's president, then I should get the word what. So this is where I want to now call after you've declared a variable, you can use it anywhere. You can call it anytime that you want, right? So I want to call this variable that I've declared. So it's more of like as I said, it's what more of like a container that houses what the values, the data that we've stored. Currently, the data that we stored there is what Nana Akufo-Addo, right? So if I want to call this thing, I just need to retype the name, right? But there's also a short there are shortcuts here, code completion, like as I'm typing. If I want to complete it, shortcuts, I just press on my tab, press on your tab, and it completes it for you. I know people will be asking for shortcuts. This is it, right? You type a few of the variables that you've declared, the first few letters, then if I run, this is what I stored what Akufo-Addo in this Ghana's president container. That's what we have. Have you seen that? So that is what variable, right? That is what we call what variables. Are we together? Are we together? Okay. So the same way we use what the print function, the print function that I said. So I can now print Ghana's president. Then I have it. You see that I'm printing Ghana's president, and I have what I wanted. We are together, right? Okay, so we've done what? We are just creating variables. You give the variable name, then you use what? The equal to sign in creating your variable. So I can go, name is equal to what? Then I say Theophilus, Theophilus. You see that? Then I come, age is equal to, then I say maybe I'm the youngest person in this class, so 16 years. Is that not it? Or I should be the oldest. Okay, let me be the oldest. I'm 40 years old. You see that? So I'm declaring variables. I've declared that name is this, and maybe location. These are all variable declaration. So location is equal to what? Then I say maybe what Kaneshi. Kaneshi. You see that? So if I run this cell, I've run it, I've stored it. Python the notebook have saved these things. It has been saved. So anytime any of them that I want, I just call it. I can print any of them, right? I can print any of them out. So I can print name. You see that? I can print name. Then I have what name is equal to what Theophilus, or I can just call in Jupyter Notebook. We are able to just call the functions by just typing it here. So you see that I can call location. So then I get what all of this. So I've been able to what I've created variables, name, Theophilus, age, and this. You see that? You see that? So we can print, I think we'll do, I can print a statement. So I can print something like that. Oh, my name is, then I bring what was there, right? My name is, then I say, comma, the name, the variable. So my name is Theophilus. You see that something like that. So we are building on it. We are building on it. How we are able to. print stuff together. Are we together? Okay. So yes, we've done this one. We've done so far. We've declared with what? Just one variable, a name, and then one. So let's see how you see what I did right now. I did what? My name is equal to this, age is equal to this. What if we wanted to do it on a single line? You see that? Wanted to do it on a single line. So I can say, oh, name is equal to name. I want to do those three things, those three variables together, right? Want to do those three variables together. So name, or if I want to do all on the same line, I need to separate each of them with a comma first. So name, age, and then location. Then I say equal to, then the first one is what? The name. So I say the name is what? Isaac. Then Isaac. Then I go, comma, the age is what? 20. Then the location is what? Let's say East Legon, right? East Legon. You see that? So when you do this, you've equally, instead of me going, oh, uh, name is equal to Isaac, age is equal to 20, and location is equal to East Legon. I've just kept all on one line. Then I run. Ah, you see that the code has run. So now, if I say name, I'm getting Isaac. You see that? If I say age, I should get what? 20. If I say what? Location, what do I get? I get what? East Legon. East Legon, right? Line 83. Someone is asking. Okay, so let me go through. Joseph is saying his cells is not numbered, but they are running, right? When you run, you run it runs, right? Okay, I hope it runs. If it is running, don't worry. How do I? Sorry, mistake. No be small. Oh. How to gain the numbering? So restart your phone and see if the numbering is on the cell. Okay, okay, so you choose markdown. Things interesting. My variable is finally please inside 83. The number one 83, 83. Let me go to cell 83, 83, 83. Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I just did a doc string and the output. Normally, this one we use when you are printing. When I want to print something and I want it to break, I'll use slash n for it to send it to a new line. For it to send it to a new line, slash n, then it will send it to a new line. So I'll do it in a print statement and you'll see it, right? Don't worry about this. Sorry. So yes, this was we declaring several variables all on one line. So we have been able to declare several variables what? On one a single line. This is what we did. So the next one is what? What if we wanted to declare, what if we wanted to give what? Um one one value, but we want to about three different names. So maybe let's say um so let's say Theo's age, uh Theo's age, th maybe Theo's age, comma, then we go to Isaac's age, then we go to Lisa's age, Lisa underscore age. uh oh, this is not how we do this. Coming. this one, for us to do this, if we are all equal to, if we are all having the same age and want to assign this, then it means Lisa Theo age is equal to Isaac age, which is also equal to Lisa's age, which is equal to, let's say, 20. This is how this is done, right? We are declaring everyone. So T age is 20, Isaac's age is 20, Lisa's age is what? T age 20, I age 20. So when we come here, T, then I use what? Tab. Okay, this should be equal to 20. You see that? I come to I age, I get what? 20. You see that? Pa, pa, pa. You see that? Okay. So this is it for the variable um declaring. So far we've done what? How to declare what? A variable. That's what we've done. Now I've not told you variable names can be changed, right? So if I say I age is equal to this and I declare again that I age is equal to another thing, it will change to that. So I age, if I say I age is equal to 30, it means I've erased the first one. I've just reassigned it. So now if I call I age again, it will be the latest one. It will not be the old one. It will be 30. You see that? Because I've changed it. Change it. Change it. Right. So now, one thing that I'll do is how to name your variables. The names that you can give to what? Your variables. We want to look at. The names that you can give to what? Your variables. Right? So, various ways. What can you use as what? Your variable names, and what can't you what you can't use. Yeah, you need to know that before you'll be running into errors in creating your names. Okay, variable names can be short. It can be any of the alphabet, the smaller alphabet. That means from A. It can be A to Z. Let me do this. Let me change this to markdown and write it here. It can be what? A to Z, from A to Z, A, B, C, D, up to Z. It can be any of this. You see that? It can be the capital ones too, A to Z. You can use any of them. You can use the capital ones too. Have you seen that? One variable, this one names must begin or start with a letter or an underscore. It cannot start with a number. Are we together? Your variable name cannot start with a number. So let me list it here. A variable name must start with a, let me say what, a letter or an underscore, or underscore underscore. You see that? We say it can contain any of this one. As I said, it can contain this one, any of either A to Z, and even it can contain numbers too, from 0 to 9. It can contain numbers too. Just that the number shouldn't start with a number, right? It can contain numbers, but it shouldn't start with a number. And variable, um, you can't add what? Special cases, special stuff into in variable names, right? Like the dollar sign, the hash, the percentage. No, you can't put them. You can't add them. So verify. So let's verify, as I said. So I want to declare a variable. I want to say um uh, name, as I said, Theo is equal to, then I say, oh, let me say name, name is equal to, you see that I use what? I started with what? It started with what? A letter, The letter could be what? Any. So name is equal to, yeah. So that the same, you see that I didn't, it has run. If I call it, it will come. I could have said what? Name is equal to another one, Yao. You see this? These two are different. In Python, Python is very case sensitive, right? So if these two are two different things, even this is also different from whatever that is there. So Kobi, these three are three different things. So if I call name, you see that it is TTT. If I call capital, this is also another one. If I call, this is also another one. These are three different things because what? Python is very what? Case sensitive. So if you are giving your variable names, if you don't type one in a small name in a small letter and you go and be calling something else, Python will tell you, I don't know what you are talking about, right? So yes, let's try it. As I said, what there are no, you can't start your variable name with what? A number. So I want to say name is equal to, then I say Isaac. I should get an error because Python will tell me that is not the way we do things here. Have you seen that? Python is telling me, hey, I don't know what you want to do. Invalid syntax. The syntax is not correct because I'm not using the right way. What Python says I should do, I'm not doing it. I'm doing something wrong. Python is saying don't start your variable names with what? Numbers. And I've started with number. But I can add name 1, name 2 is equal to name 2 is equal to what? Then I say what? Hamza. You see that? I've added number into it. It is good. It has accepted. But if the one that I was starting it with a number, it told me, hey, that is not how we do things over here. Then the next one is what? The next one is I said what? Special characters. So special characters want to say your school name, school. Then I bring what? Dollar sign somewhere. Then I want to say school is equal to what? KNUST. You see that? Python tells me what? Hey, we don't do stuff like that over here. The same thing. We don't do this kind of things over here. That's what Python is telling me. You see that? So I want to say tech, then I add what? Percentage. Then I say it's equal to invalid syntax because I'm adding what? I've added a special character. That is just it. So it is only underscore that we can use. So I can say, as I said, we can equally start our uh, names with what? Underscore. So name is equal to what? Lisa. Then we say what? Lisa. You see that? You start with an underscore, you are good, right? Mostly this is the way. This is just the naming convention, the syntax that Python allows, right? In naming your variables. This is how it is. I hope we are fine and we are good and right. Okay, that's fine. Let me see if booking problems I'm having. I'm unable to speak clearly. Wow. Wow. Okay. So yes, basically this is it. It's left with one last item that we have to do. We have to look at what? Data types, right? We have to look at data types in Python. Data types in Python. I hope we are all having it okay, right? Yes, give me a thumbs up if you are okay for me to say. For me before I go to the next one. Let's see. Otherwise, need to go to what? Data types. Oh, Yeah. Joseph said, I'm not okay. My cells are not numbering. But it is running. Joe, yeah. Is it running? When you run, does it run? That's what is important. Okay, so let's try. It's already 12. It's already 12. It's already 12. We have to, should have, it's already 12, but we need some few minutes to do the data types. Right, we need to do the data types. Let's do the data types. Okay, so let's try our best. Wow. Okay, so now let's do the data types and then we can let's try as much as sorry to do it, and let's say data, data types. So we'll look at we'll be looking at um we'll be looking at int, we'll be looking at what float, we'll be looking at boolean booleans boolean, we'll be looking at string strings string, then and we'll look at the containers too. Look at list, we look at what a tuple, then then we'll look at what a dictionary. Okay, so yes, we'll look at this stuff, right? So yes, these are we look at these data types that are in Python, right? Okay, okay. So let's look at the first one, integers. Integers are just negative, or positive numbers. Or positive whole numbers. For integers doesn't have what decimal points. Integers doesn't have what decimal points. So if we say what uh one, this is an integer. 29, this is an oh, what, I change this to markdown. This 29, 35, this is an integer. How do we know that? How do you know that this is an integer? This is this. We'll look at what one function called what the type. We use the type to find, so type, then we do what type of one, one. What is this? You see that it is telling me this is an integer, this is an int. So numbers without decimal points are what integers. So the data type is always what? Int, right? So we are looking at int over here. Oh, int. Then we'll look at the next one. The next one, which is what? So we are saying whole numbers without decimal points are what? Integers. So it means with decimal points, then we are moving to what? Float. And it becomes what? Float. With decimal points, then they become what? Float. So let me change this and change this to what? Markdown and give it a name. So I say, Papa, this is what? Float. So float means what? Numbers with what? Decimal points. So if we say this divided by this, we get a decimal point, right? So 3 point, this is a decimal point. So this means it has decimal points. That means this is a float. So if you want to just see the type of any of this, 1.6677, you see what? You get float. So those with decimal points are called what? Float. Those without are called what? Integers. That's how it is, right? The moment there's a decimal point, then it means it was is what? Um, a float, right? The next one that we'll be looking at is what? I think what? Booleans, eh? We'll be looking at booleans. We'll be looking at boolean. We'll be looking at boolean. Booleans are just what? The true and false that we've seen, right? The true and false that we've seen. So booleans are just the true and false that we've seen. That's all. So let's say type, I said what? Booleans are the true and false. So if I say type of true, or to, we should get bool. This is a boolean, right? This is a boolean. So that is it for this one and this one. So far, we've seen three different data types. The data could be what? It could be integer, it could be float, and now we've seen what? Booleans. And then the next one is what? The next one, so we can with the boolean, right? We can find, you see, we can change any number to. You see, when I said one is an integer, one is an integer, right? We can equally change one to a float, right? That one we call it type conversions, right? We can convert something. So imagine one is a float and I want one is an integer and I want to convert it to float. I just type float and I keep it there, and I've been able to change one to what? One which was an integer is now it now has decimal point zero, which is what? A float. Have you seen that? The same way I can change it to an int to int. You keep it into an int. Same way for boolean, right? So booleans, any number, anything in Python can be changed into a boolean. Immediately it is not zero, it is not empty, it will be converted to true, right? So bool, we're on boolean. Boolean of 3, it should bring us true. The moment it will only boolean will only give us zero, false if this is zero, right? If this is zero, if it is an empty string, if it is an empty list, if it is an empty dictionary, all those are, if it is empty, then it will only return false. So we've seen what? Int, float, boolean, right? Now let's look at the next one, which is what? String. Let's look at strings. So far I was talking about string. The names that we were declaring, I was declaring strings, typing strings without you knowing what I was doing. So strings are just more of like, you see that these ones are numbers, these ones are booleans. What of the text? The text. So the text, we classify anything, all those texts, we just keep them into quotation marks, right? So if I want to type some arbitrary text. I just bring what? My quotation marks. Thankfully, Python allows us to either use what? Single quotation marks or what? Double quotation marks. So immediately I bring this, I can say anything. So Theo, this is text. You see that? This is text. So if I run, it comes out. If I want to find the type of what I've done, I say type of what? This Theo. What do I get? str. That means it is what? A string. It is a string column. So we are talking about strings over here, right? Strings. We are talking about strings over here. Strings over here. Okay. So the text columns, the text data, these fall under what? Strings. So yes, I've been able, when I want to, I could equally use the double quotation mark and I say what? Lisa, you see that this is also what? A string. So if I put the type, put it inside the type, and I close my type and I run it, you see that I'm still getting what? str. This is also what? A string variable, a string something, a string data, right? Okay, so yes, this is also one. Then now after this, so look at with string methods. There are so many other things that we can do towards strings, right? So long as we are looking at strings, we need to look at the methods that we can apply on it, things that we can do to a string, right? So let's declare some variable first. So let's say my name is equal to what? Ghana Tech Lab, Ghana Tech Lab, right? Yes, if you type numbers in quotation marks, then it means you are saying it's a string. It is no longer a number. Immediately you put anything inside the quotation marks, you are saying it is a string. So if you put a number inside the quotation mark, you are saying it is a string, right? So yes, so name, if I type name and I do this, I have I have this. Now let's look at the methods that we can say we can apply, things that we can do to this. Methods, we'll look at it. Yeah. So if I say name dot then I use tab. Use the tab. You see the various methods that we can apply on them. So we can do what? Capitalize. We can count. We can end with. We can. There are so many. We can. There are always upper. There's upper. There's lower. There's adjust, split, strip, and so on. Have you seen that? So upper, I want to use upper. It means I want to change the case, all of them to be what? Upper. So I bring my quotation brackets open and close and run. You see that it has changed the naming that it at first it was what? Small letters. I've been able to change it to what? Capital letters by just calling what? A method on it. Because it is a string and these are the methods that I can call on it. Have you seen that? The same name dot what? Case capitalize. You see, capitalize just makes the first one, the first letter capital, and that's all. Have you seen that? There's lower. If they were in capital letters, you can change it to lower. Have you seen that? There are so many things that we can do, right? So imagine I want to come here and bring I'm bringing a comma here. I've brought a comma here. Okay, no, I don't want a comma here. I've brought a comma here. Have you seen that? I've brought a comma here. Now, with the string method, there's a method called what? Split. Dot split. I want to split whatever that is there. Have you seen that? I want to split whatever that is there on the comma sign. The comma sign that is there. So if I split it between the comma, I get what? Ghana and Tech Lab. You see that? We are able to do this. When we are doing in our date, there will be where we'll be applying this kind of things. We'll be applying this kind of things. So you see that we'll be able, these are a few methods that we can use. So later on, you get to see more applications that we can apply, more of the methods. As I said, if you just type the name of the variable, which is a string method, and you use the tab, you can see the various things that you can apply on it, right? You can apply so many stuff on it. Now let's look at how to access the letters in the name. So I can say what? If you want to access any of them, Python has what we call what? Indexing, right? So at index 0, what is there? At index 1, what is there? At index 2, what is there? At index 3. Python's indexing start from what? 0. So you see what we have here, Ghana Tech Lab. So J is at 0, position 0. At position 1 is H. So you see that that's position. The indexing is basically more of like the positions that we are talking about. Position. So at if I call name, you see that I'll get the whole of Ghana Tech Lab. But if I want to access some letters, so I'll just bring the square bracket and I say at index, I want name the letter at position 0. This is basically what I've done. At position 0. If I run this, I get J. J is what is there. Have you seen that? So that's how we access the letters in a string. Name again, name again, then I say what? I want what is at what? Position 5. Position 5 is a comma. Have you seen that? I want what is at position 7. You see that? So I get what is at E. What is at position 7 is E. What if I don't want this one, just one letter. I want maybe a range. You give your range. So you can say name at position, then I say maybe give me from position 1 to uh, to 5, from position 1 to 5. So it will pick the first one, so but it will not, you will not get 5. The ending is always not included. So it ends at n minus 1, the end minus 1. So 5 minus 1. So it means it will start from what is at position 1. It will give you position 1, it will give you position 2, it will give you position 3, and it will give you position what? 4. You will not get 5. When you give the range, that's what you get. Are we together? Okay. So yes, this is ways of we assessing elements in what? Python. We've assessed stuff from, yeah, we've declared so far we've gotten to, we are on strings, and we've seen a few string methods that we can apply. We've seen what? How to access letters in this place, right? The same way we can, whatever that is there, we can change it. You see that? We can say name at this is equal to this, and it means we are changing it again. But I think it's past 12, and maybe people would like to, we'll end here. And I know for the data types we've done up to string. Tomorrow we'll continue with what? List and dictionaries. Then we'll add list and dictionary plus tuples to what we'll have to do tomorrow, right? So tomorrow, it means tomorrow we have more work to do, right? Hmm. So far, any issues so far? I think you should be. If you have any issues, let me know before I go. Before we end the class for today. As I said, we've done a few stuff. Tomorrow we'll add what? We started with the data types. We did basic operations, then we did what? Naming, then we look at how to the naming conventions in Python, the names that you can use, the rules that you have to take consider when naming your variables. And then we started what? We just started with what? The data types. We did for we saw integers, we saw floats, we saw booleans, and then we looked at what? Strings, right? We looked at strings. Tomorrow we'll look at what? A list. We'll look at what? Um, tuples, we'll look at what? Dictionaries, right? Okay, okay. So it was nice. A lot of you didn't come, but it's okay. A thumbs up if you are okay, so that I know I'm okay. I can end the session. A thumbs up, so I see before I end the session. I hope you are okay. Right? Okay, tomorrow. Okay, okay. So that is it. Let's meet tomorrow. The video is always available. Yeah, and as I said, you should equally subscribe to the channel. So the channel is just for this course. So you will have more anything about this course will be there. Anything that will improve our studies, I'll do it and I'll upload it here. Right. Ah, nah. The video is there. The video you can go over the video anytime. Right. Yeah, the video is there. You can go over the video. You can go over the video. Right. Okay. So let's meet tomorrow. We'll continue our Python studies. I think we've started and we want to build our Python muscles, right? We want to build our Python muscles so that we can use it for our analysis. Yes. Okay. See you tomorrow.